Karen. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great, thank you.
Okay. And thank you so much for joining me this morning to chat about your journey with your journey that you've had so far. So, Karen, can you please introduce yourself and just give us a little bit of a idea of who you are and what you're doing? And yeah.
Sure. So I've had pretty much a lifelong journey in relation to dieting or watching what I'm eating, and it's really been a big contributor to my life and my actions and how I do things in life. And I've I'm an exerciser. I love to exercise and get out there in the fresh air, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I just love to be part of a group or walking on my own or whatever I can do to move. But my weight has had a big bearing on a lot of things that I do. I've gone up and down all of my life and never really found what works for me to stay at a healthy weight, in a healthy weight range. And certainly going through menopause, it hit hard, and we were traveling around Australia and I put on about 10 kilos. Of course, the happy hours didn't help, but I was literally watching myself change in front of my eyes. So I've been greatly affected by my weight all of my life.
So, what made you decide to join the metabolic health clinic program?
Well, I guess going along to you as my GP and having many discussions on what can I do next. And then you raised this with me, and it was as though you handed me a lifeline, just listening, and to your passion about it as well. I could see you were handing me a different me for the future. And that's what I so desperately wanted. For one, I really wanted to understand what my body was doing, and I couldn't understand. I felt there must be something inside that we couldn't see. And I guess thankfully with you doing the blood test, that actually gave me the answers that my body was working against me, or what I was eating was working against me, and how my body was working through that food, for want of better words.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So you've now completed this program, which has been well, we've done, I think, 8 sessions over a period of a few months because you were on holiday, and things like that. So what was your experience of it? What were the good bits and the bad bits, I suppose?
Well, to be honest, I started mid-November,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if I pop in here how much I've lost since
You
then.
can, absolutely. You're my star patient, Karen.
So I've lost 19.2 kilograms and 45 centimeters, or 18 inches. The experience has been incredible. I honestly haven't looked back, even through Christmas, New Year. And I know you encouraged me not to be too hard on myself during that time, that we've got to understand normal life, things pop up. But even on Christmas Day, I remember thinking, okay, look at my list. I mean, the food list is just your Bible. And I compared it to what we were going to have for Christmas Day with all of our visitors. And I just worked around it. And we've had a big holiday since, on the road for 5 weeks. I worked around it. Happy hours. It's amazing what you can pop into there that you actually can have on the program. So I haven't been hungry. I haven't been looking for other things. I've been doing lots of research on the food that is on our list. And the sometimes food helps too, when you sort of get out of where there's a position where you don't have control, where you're going to someone else's home for a meal. That is normal life. So you work around that, and I pop in a fast day there if need be to support that. So I know certainly, through my research, a lot of people on eating this sort of meal plan, or these sorts of foods, lose quicker. But I cannot believe it. I am stunned that I've lost 19.2 kilos, and it feels, I shouldn't say effortless, but honestly it does, because if you eat what we can eat, you should not be hungry. You don't have the sugar spikes. You don't have the cravings where you need that sugar. It's just not there anymore. So I feel very different.
Fantastic. So how do you feel? Like, what has it, I mean, we all talk about weight a lot, but there's more to it than just weight, isn't it, Karen? How do you feel different to before in terms of
Um,
health wise as well?
Most definitely. I think mental health wise too, weight, being overweight is incredible. It's not just I went to a specialist a while ago. I have chronic asthma, and it's the first time I'd met him. It was a new one. And he said, "Oh, Karen, this is before I started. Have you ever thought of losing weight?" And I just looked at him and went, "No, not really." Like, I mean, it's forever on your mind. When you're overweight, it's, oh, will I be comfortable in this seat? What size do I need to look for now? And because you change and sizes change, that it's forever on your mind. So I just feel so much more relaxed in myself. I feel not free from the demons. I think that's a long road as far as, do you trust yourself to keep going? But I um I I don't see it as any other way of life now. This is how I eat, and I feel so much better. The bloating's gone. The gas and all those funny feelings in your tummy, it is incredible. It's such a change to my body and to my mental health and well-being, for sure. And
How,
exercise is so much easier.
that's right.
So much. Yeah.
And
And I think,
how,
little things where you squat down to grab something off the floor or reach over, all those things that you had to think of, how do I get back up? I don't. It's just natural now. It's, yeah,
wonderful,
really.
Karen. And do you think that you can carry this on, this way of eating, which is a low carb whole food? That's what we're
Yes,
doing, isn't it? Do you think that
absolutely.
long term that's something that you can carry on?
Absolutely. I'm not looking for those things. Like, I was a big potato eater. It was just part of how we grew up, but we actually cook our vegetables differently now, and we add different spices and things like that too. But I'm not looking for those. And, like, yes, I always love pasta and what have you. I didn't have it every day or anything like that, but I'm not looking for that. I think that fear of that stodgy, horrible feeling in your tummy, takes control of that and says, no, you don't need that. And I'm sure, along the way, there'll be times when I will, because there are times that are out of your control. And I think I'll feel it because my body's not used to it now.
And we did do some metabolic health screening blood tests recently,
Yes,
and things were a lot better, weren't they, Karen?
absolutely. And that's, I think, the real benefits of doing this program with you, are that you're not just monitoring what's on the scales, you're monitoring our bloods, which I think is so important, which showed us there was something most definitely going on inside and helped us to realise that this is the program for me, for sure.
Fantastic. And do you think this is something that other people would benefit from too?
Oh, actually, I'm probably your biggest and loudest advocate. I have a relative already going to you. I have my sister in Adelaide, following a lot of the meals and the food that I'm eating. And if people want to know, because I'm having so many comments, which is interesting, being the weight that I was, it took about at least 10 to 12 kilos before people started to really notice. And I stayed in my clothes until then. Well, just recently, I've only just bought new clothes. And now people are saying, you're so skinny. It's like, I was hiding under those clothes.
Yeah.
But honestly, I am, if people ask, how are you doing it or what have you, because I think nowadays people think the only option is surgery, and that is what is right for some people. I was always very scared to go down that pathway, very nervous of the idea of surgery and what are the outcomes in years to come. So I'm just so grateful, Nellam, for your program. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, Karen. It's a real privilege to be able to share this knowledge and to finally feel that I can make a difference. And I think
Yeah.
that's where. So thank you so much, so much for coming on board and sharing your story, Karen. So I'm going